Um, did a lot of good things in our last one against Michigan. I thought we did a really nice job of attacking their different defenses. They threw 3 different defenses at us. I thought we handled that. I thought Coleman was special in the middle of the zone, his ability to spray the ball. I thought our focus on the defensive side was different than it has been. I think that started with Terrence. I thought that we felt pretty comfortable what they were going to try to do. Trying to post Taurus. He was 3 of 9 in the first half. Coleman blocked a few, but when you play good offense like that, it eased the pressure on our defense. But I thought defensively we did a lot of things with a lot more purpose than we had been doing. So all in all, a good game. You're just shy of 1.4 OER. And we set those guys mainly the last 8-9 minutes of the game. So different task at Maryland. A very, very good defensive team. A team that has been starting very, very big with Traore in the lineup, along with Scott. They're a team that will mix up defenses. They'll press a little bit. They'll throw some different things at you, and yet, they, in my opinion, they've got an all-league player in Young, and we've got to do a better job on him than we did the first game.
Without getting into the game plan, obviously, like what has to change with that to make it life tough on him?
A little focus would be good. It's
Yeah.
maybe as poor as we've played, and they had something to do with that. But we weren't very connected to him in any of his actions. We blew switches. We were just all over the place in the first game. So I hope we're a little more focused and dialed in. But again, he's a good player. You let him get in the paint. He's got great strength. He does a great job of getting into your chest and has the ability to finish. And the crazy thing is, he had a big game and he didn't shoot it very well. We've got to we got to be dialed into him and make things a little more difficult. And obviously, having TJ in this one is a little different perspective. But we got to be better.
What do you feel is translatable defensively to carry with you guys to Maryland? Is it just an energy and a focus thing?
Oh yeah, that's it. It's and when you're focused on the defensive side, you're mentally locked in, and you have to play hard. You have to play play with great energy. We took plays off. We've got to find that balance, and playing through fatigue. The only thing that we did that I didn't like, or didn't do that I didn't like at all, was come up with 3 or 4 loose balls. Just getting on the floor, getting nasty. The tough plays that win you games, win you postseason tournament games, and we've been doing loose ball drills yesterday. We'll do them again today. We've got to come up with those things.
You come off a team that you haven't lost to in Michigan, and a team that you struggled with Maryland. Obviously, that's just part of Big Ten play. But is there things that you can pinpoint as to why certain teams give you more trouble than others?
Not really. I mean, they're good. They've always been good. When Mark Turgeon was there, they were really good. They were in the top 20 most of the year. This year they were picked. I don't know whether they picked second, third, ahead of us. I think they've got all league players. They were preseason, picked first team, so they've got really good players. And for whatever the reason, it was a game we didn't play very well, and we were about as cold as it was outside that day. And that's no excuse, but we got to play better.
Good talk.
kind of about the response to losing on Tuesday that the team showed? You haven't lost back-to-back. Could something similar apply to them as you lost against Maryland a month ago?
I hope so. I hope so. I think the one thing that you have to, you got two choices with losing. You learn from it or you accept it. And we've got to understand what we did wrong in the first game against these guys, and we've got to try to correct that. Now they're going to do what they do, and they're good, and defensively they pose some challenges because they've got great size, and I think the other night they got close to 50% of their misses back against Iowa. So they find a way. And Kevin's a really good coach, and so I hope some of that takes hold, that we learn from our loss the first time and do some things better.
Is there anything?
Have kind of an older, lineup or roster. Is that easier to get them to respond that way, that quickly? If that makes
I hope
sense?
so. I hope that should be part of it. They understand, what that is. And I posed the question to them the other day. When you lose, what are your options? And a guy like Coleman Hawkins just nailed it. He gave the perfect answer. You either learn from it or you accept it. And this group's mature. They know how to bounce back, and they know how to, when they played good and when they haven't. But we were about as unfocused as we could be in the first game against these guys.
Is there anything Coleman does defensively at this point that's a surprise to you?
No.
What's that say? Because
He's very, very smart. Coleman's one of the most misread people in the country, and he's demonstrative, but it's all in the name of competitive. I may not have coached many guys with a greater competitive spirit than him, and now you put that with intelligence and his understanding of the game. He just finds a way, and he's not an ultra athlete. He's a guy that does it with positioning and being smart, there's very little he does that surprises me on the basketball court.
I guess knowing you had an old team that you'd hoped that they'd have maybe this kind of response to when they've played poorly, but when did you maybe know that they would? Is there a point this season?
Yeah, I don't know. I think you can go back to getting beat by Marquette. That was a veteran team that had been together for 3 or 4 years, and I felt like we had even back in the Kansas exhibition, it was a tie game, I think, and then we find a way to pull way down the stretch against them, and a lot of unknowns going into that one. Then you have the Marquette game, and same thing against a very connected team, and even though we didn't win, we bounced back from that, and I felt pretty good about where our ceiling could be. And so I think there's different points in the season you look back, and I knew pretty early with this group, but still becomes a long season, and there's adversity, and there's different things you have to continually fight against, and this group's been able to handle most of those things.
You got more out of Quincy in the last game. What's important as far as his consistency to refine that down the stretch for you guys?
Playing hard, just play hard. And it doesn't matter if you score 28, it doesn't matter if you score 8, just play hard and not blow assignments, be dialed into scouting report, play hard. And the game, we have a lot of guys who can score in a lot of different ways, and when he's scoring, he gives us an unbelievable lift. But sometimes it's not his night. Maryland's a team that, top 10, I think, at fewest threes given up. So you don't. You got to get on the glass. You've got to do all the other things, and sometimes in the flow of offense, things don't come to you as easily. So play hard, rebound, defend, all the things that he leads us in double doubles, I think, and those are the things that he did to really impact winning.
Is that pump fake 3, drive and dunk a sign for him that he's confidence or anything? Is that just part of his skill set.
Well, considering he missed 26,000 layups in the first game against them, I think it's pretty impressive that he did actually dunk it. But we want him to shoot threes. He's a good shooter, and you know, if he's open, do that. He's a very good straight line driver. But you can't start jackknifing the ball all over the place and trying to your dipsy-do dunk. You know, no one in this league is going to call those fouls. And, you know, it's just being really, really soft, to be very honest with you. So I hope it is, because he's athletic as anybody in this league. Thank you.